head coach for the Jackrabbits. Their starters, Austin Hansen, 6'1". Casey Essling is a 6'4" senior. He will be starting at the other guard/forward position. Derek Sean, 6'6". He is also one of those guard/forward type players. He's a freshman. Cody Vollmer, 6'6", junior forward. And in the middle, it'll be Bill Fisher, 6'7", senior. Time now for the starting lineups for Hawaii Pacific University. And they're being introduced over the PA system here at the Blaisdell Center. Jamar Miller will be the starting point guard, 6'3", senior guard from Danville, Illinois. Starting at the other guard position, 6'3", junior from Emeryville, California, Alvin Stevenson. He is one of the newcomers on this team that is an electrifying type player. He is one of the great athletes that HPU has seen in their program. Here's another one, Kavika Smith. He is a local boy, 6'4", junior forward out of Damien High School. Helping out on the wing and down low will be Scott Kato, 6'7", senior forward from Kailua, Hawaii, a graduate of Kalaheo High School where he was a state champion in his senior year. And rounding out the starting five for Hawaii Pacific, Ryan Adel. He's a 6'10", senior center from Greeley, Colorado. He is a transfer from Northern Colorado. In fact, Northern Colorado in the same conference as South Dakota State. So talking to the announcers that are here doing the radio broadcast for the Jackrabbits, and they remember Ryan Adel. They remember him very well.
Yeah, they remember he's a tough guy down low. Likes to pass out of the double team, which could be great for HPU because you don't want to get clogged up down low when you have to be running a lot. And HPU doesn't have the size of yesteryear, Tony, with all the big guys from HPU's past, and they're going to have to run in transition, create offense out of defense. And if Ryan can pass out of the double team and block a lot and get things going in transition, he could be a very important part of this team.
Hawaii Pacific 0-2 on the year, head coached by the legend Tony Solito. 254 wins, 98 losses, 12th season as the skipper for HPU. He has been able to lead the Sea Warriors to 7 straight 20-win seasons, but he is in the midst of a dilemma. The team is 0-2, coming off of one of their worst losses in Tony Solito's tenure, losing to Colorado Christian over the weekend, 93-63. I know in my own memory that I don't have any recall of a 30-point loss in which Tony Solito took part as head coach for HPU.
Yeah, when I saw that, I thought it was a typo.
The team's jumping at center, and South Dakota State wins the battle. South Dakota State in the royal blue uniforms with white and gold trim. Hawaii Pacific in their home whites with Columbia blue and Kelly green trim. Short jumper by Bill Fisher, no good. And South Dakota State, very active team. They hang on to the possession. Backdoor pass given to Shantz. Missed, tipped up, no good. Knocked around. Jamar Miller sidesteps the end line, and he'll bring it out for Hawaii Pacific. Miller across midcourt. He calls the play in the right-handed dribble. Again, we're on the simulcast. Kumu AM 1500 and Oceanic Cable Channel 16. Miller at the helm. Chest pass to Stevenson on the right wing. Drives baseline up in and one. Three-point opportunity here for Alvin Stevenson right off the bat. And there is a quick example of the explosiveness of Alvin Stevenson.
Exactly. There was a microcosm of the aforementioned quickness and explosiveness that you touched on at the top of the broadcast. Alvin Stevenson Jr. And wearing 32, you put it in the mirror, it's 23. A lot like Robert Parker, 6'3", not 6'6". But can he finish? Yes, he can.
Parker, of course, one of the star players last season for Hawaii Pacific University. Stevenson misses the free throw. South Dakota State coming the other way at the top of the circle. It's ball holding it under his chin. Ball swings into the right corner. Hansen being smothered by Jamar Miller. Drives to the baseline, cut off there. Swings the pass in low to Bill Fisher. Trying to turn on Adley is blocked, but a whistle is blown. And Fisher will get to the free throw line. Pat Tanibe, the official, along with Todd Oppo and Derek Lebenz. Tanibe with the call there, and that will send Bill Fisher to the line. 6'7" senior from Iowa Falls, Iowa, averaging 10 points per game. He is an 80% free throw shooter. First one is up and good, no problem. And that looked like the shot of an 80% free throw shooter. Tickling the twine.
Yeah, a lot of time in the gym for Fisher.
The second one is up, and it's in. So a 2-all tie, 19:03 left to play here in the first half. Just underway. Glad you could join us wherever you may be. Jamar Miller walking it across left to right for HPU, calling the play, rubbing off the shoe to the right set by Kavika Smith. Now with the shimmy dribble from right to left, crossing over, being guarded by Shantz. Still looking to distribute. Finds Stevenson right wing for three. It's up. It is long. An offensive rebound by Kato. Turnaround shot. Left of the lane. No good. Tip up. No. Stevenson. Oh, he went up for that rebound. Came down and was hacked on the arm by Austin Hansen. And Hawaii Pacific doing a good job tenaciously attacking the offensive boards.
And so far, the effort by Alvin Stevenson has been a stellar one for HPU.
Miller to inbound for the baseline to Stevenson, right wing, looking for a second for the three, gave it up top to Scott Kato. Ball swings to Miller, long three from the left wing, nothing but net, 5-2 HPU.
And Tony Slito's got to love the way his team has come out early.
18 and a half to go here in the first half. Hansen controlling at the top, guarded by Miller. Miller, that is perhaps his best attribute, his defense. Hansen breaks free off the screen, however, and drops the shot from the free throw line. 5-4 now the score. HPU by a single point. Miller quickly trying to push the tempo the other way. Inside the three-point line on the left wing. He phones it back and forth from Ryan Adeline. He'll start the play at the top of the circle. Crouch dribble now gets it to Kavika Smith. Gets it to handle the free-throw line. He is guarded by Fisher. He sends it up top to Miller. 16 seconds. Reading on the shot clock. Miller crossover. Rubs off the screen set by Adam to the left. Fisher does a good job coming over to help out. Looking into the post. The ball knocked away by Hansen. Stolen away by Cody Ballmer. And a foul in the backcourt called against Hawaii Pacific. That's against Jamar Miller. That is his first. That's the second team foul for Hawaii Pacific. Two team fouls apiece, 17:40 left to play in the first half. Hansen jogs it into the forecourt for South Dakota State. Down low into the post it goes. Fisher right of the lane. Squares up against Adel. Nice bounce pass to the working Hansen. Moving without the ball. The lay-in good. And it's a 1-point Jackrabbit lead.
If Hansen isn't dropping dimes, he's looking to penetrate. That time he got the feed and finished.
6-5 in favor of South Dakota State. Jamar Miller again working as the point guard for HPU. Gets to the post to Adel, knocked away nicely by Ballmer. Here comes Hansen, 3-on-2 for South Dakota State. Left of the lane shot. He did block Jamar Miller. Able to shut the door. Miller coming the other way. To Stevenson up. Reverse play up good. What a play. And HPU takes the lead 7-6. The Jackrabbits trying to hop it back into the front court. Good defense displayed on the wing by Stevenson, but South Dakota State gets it back. Hansen left corner for three. That falls short. Offensive rebound shots, and a whistle is called on his putback try. That one will go against Kavika Smith trying to reach in and help out. You got to like the tempo of this game. These are two athletic teams, really two teams that embody the entire NCAA Division II game. Yeah, they are in that medium height range. They are ranging from 6'9" to about 6'2". They can run. Very versatile and athletic.
Exactly. Jamar Miller, after a turnover and a foul, a frustration foul, he didn't hang his head. He got the ball on a steal, got it out to Alvin Stevenson, and for the finish. So Jamar Miller showing some resilience.
Kavika Smith now with two fouls. 13 fouls for HPU. First free throw by Shantz is good. Second one, textbook. 16:45 left to play here in the first half. And a substitution for the Jackrabbits. Head coach Scott Nagy inserts Andy Combs, 6'8" sophomore from Minnetonka, Minnesota, averaging 8 points per game. Their statistics offensively very well spread out. Jamar Miller has it up top for HPU, going left to right. Scott Kato now top of the circle to the right, gets it back to Miller. To the post, Adel, quick turnaround shot. Oh, a nice dance softly off the rim and then went through. 9-8 in favor of Hawaii Pacific. 16:25 to go in the first half. Jackrabbits quickly the other way, driving baseline. Essling is rudely met by Kato. Here comes Kato dribbling out of the backcourt. Ahead to Smith on the baseline. Spins, whirls, turnaround shot off the heel, no good. Tipped up, no good. And a fight for the loose ball won by South Dakota State. Hansen slaloming up the floor through white jerseys, gets it left of the lane to Essling, and he is hammered by Jamar Miller. For Miller, that is his second personal. And that leaves HPU with 4 team fouls, but 2 fouls apiece for Kavika Smith and Jamar Miller. And with the injury to Josh Newbern, dislocated left shoulder, he will not play tonight. He is out for perhaps another couple of weeks. That leaves the guard position very thin for the Sea Warriors. They can't afford much foul trouble tonight. Mike Smith is checked into the game for South Dakota State. Ball swings around to the left baseline. Bryce Bauer, who also checked in just moments ago, tries a shot from 16, no good. Rebound, Jamar Miller. Miller into the front court. Tries to force the issue. Left of the lane, layup, no, but he is fouled in the process. And he earns his way to the charity stripe.
Alvin Stevenson can be a Jackrabbit because he is Jackrabbit quick on that. and takes it to the glass with no regard for his body at all. So you have to love the enthusiasm by Alvin Stevenson, the newcomer.
He'll get a pair of chances from the line. Stevenson with 4 points tonight. He averages 10.5 a game along with 8 rebounds. Taking his time, the crowd quiet. Shot is up and good. Stevenson also a baseball player in high school as well as one of the blue chip listed football players in the country.
Well, you can just tell, that he is an athlete. When you see him walking around in the athletic department, you hear, no, sir, yes, sir. He's a student athlete, so he's a heck of a citizen. And coming into the game, 8 of 10 from the free throw line, so he can do it.
Second free throw, no good. It's tossed around, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by South Dakota State, so HPU will hang on to the possession. We will take a break, and we'll be back with more in the first half. 10-8 HPU, 15:45 left to play in the first on the simulcast. With Robert Langpap, 10-8 the early score with 15:45 left to play in the first. Hawaii Pacific leading by a couple of points. And they have the ball getting ready to insert it from the baseline. Tony Salito, head coach for the Sea Warriors, has been able to mount up over 250 wins in 11 seasons. This is his 12th year in his tenure. Inbound from the baseline, HPU trying to lob it via Michael Paul, who just checked into the high-jumping Kavika Smith. But they did not connect, and South Dakota State comes away with it. Going right to left here on the Blaisdell floor. The shot from the corner, Andy Cohn, right side, no good, off the heel. Rebound chased down by Scott Cato, and HPU again looking to run. They want it to be a run-and-gun type season. Michael Paul, 6-foot junior from Palmdale, California, is in there controlling with the point guard. Hefty 6 feet outside the three-point line, tried to find the post area, but a whistle away from the ball will go against South Dakota State. It'll be against Bryce Bauer, 6'9" freshman. He averages 12 points per game along with 9 rebounds coming off of the bench. Only a freshman at 6'9". HPU has it on the baseline. Michael Paul inserts it with a bout pass to Kavika Smith. Back to Paul on the right wing. Up top it goes to Stevenson, and HPU trying to get into their offensive set. A little confusion, and now they get set. Stevenson on the right side. 3 looking to drive baseline. South Dakota State. Harassing defense trying to trap in the corners, and HPU turns it over. Kavika Smith tried to get it to Adel down low. Adel zigged when Smith thought he would zag. And it belongs to the Jackrabbits. 14:55 ticking away here in the first half. HPU up by 2, 10-8. South Dakota State with it. Top of the circle, Bill Fisher holding it. Ball swings down into the post. Bryce Bauer turnaround shot from 8, and that is perfect. Game tied up at 10. Quickly the other way, Scott Cato trying to drive left of the lane. Shot is up, no good. He is fouled. They will say that the foul took place before the shot attempt, so HPU will inbound from the baseline. So far leading the way in scoring for South Dakota State. Austin Hansen with 4, and then a couple of guys with 2 points apiece.
Sea Warriors with 2 turnovers, but they're making up with 4 assists and 2 blocks. A lot of hustle out there, but they've got to protect that ball a little better.
Last off called against Bill Fisher, his first 5th South Dakota State team foul. Ball inbounds it to the left corner. Stevenson there, back up the ball, trying to fight through the defender. 2-3 zone is being played by South Dakota State. Scott Cato takes advantage of it, nailing the three-pointer from the right wing.
Scott Cato looks great on the media, guys. He looked great with that jumper.
Cato with 3. He is now 4 of 8 from beyond the arc this season. He hopes to shoot it a little more, perhaps, as the season progresses. Right wing, Mike Smith has it. Guarded by Stevenson. Smith in the left-handed dribble stop from the free throw line. Gives it up to Bauer. Gets it down low. Ballmer dribbles around. Adam, nice feed on the other side to Phone. The smooch off the glass. And it is a 1-point game. HPU up 13-12, 14 minutes left to play in the first half. Michael Paul quickly scoops it across the timeline.
That was a great pass out of a triple team by the Jackrabbits.
HPU in control. Adel down low right of the lane. Amidst the triple team. Relocates it back out to Paul. Chased down by Hansen. Paul now puts it on the floor. Drive to the free throw line, and Hansen falls for the blocking shot. Austin Hansen, 6'1" freshman from Valley Springs, South Dakota. That is his second personal foul. Averages 14 points per game. Also only a freshman. So you're looking at a team that is fairly young, but they have size and they have the quickness to really give it a go competitively for the next couple of seasons.
Austin Hansen, only a freshman. He plays like a senior. Seems like he's the leader out there.
Michael Paul has it for HPU. They lead by a point, 13-12. Paul looking to drive baseline, cut off there. Being defended well by Mike Smith. away out of bounds in the deep corner and belong to HPU. Last touch by the Jackrabbits. Another substitution for Tony Solito into the game for the first time. Gary Heyer, 6'5" junior forward from Downey, California. Heyer is a very accredited shooter, but he is 0 for 8 from three-point land on the year, so he has yet to connect. Hopes to break that streak, I'm sure, tonight. There he is, Heyer on the left wing, pump fake from beyond the arc, dribbles into a double team. South Dakota State in that very tough zone again. Heyer again with it on the left wing. Thought about the three, made up his mind to pass it. Finds Stevenson on the other side, dribbles a foot inside the three-point arc. The shot off the glass, no good. Rebound chased down by Casey Essling for South Dakota State. And then a collision at midcourt between Essling and Stevenson. A foul will be called of the defensive variety against Alvin Stevenson.
Got the courage of Alvin Stevenson should be admired, taking a running out of control 6'4" Essling.
That is the first personal against Stevenson, 5th HPU team foul. South Dakota State with 6 team fouls. A few moments being taken to wipe some perspiration off the hardwood here at the Blaisdell Center.
You take a look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the radio guys from South Dakota made the trek to the 50 state, going back live to South Dakota.
Andy Cohen inbounded from the far sideline for the Jackrabbits. Inserts it in play to Vollmer. Top of the circle, guarded by Kato. Kato staring into his eyes. Foul now goes top of the circle to the right. Bauer gives it up to Smith. Back to Bauer. Adel not respecting the outside abilities of Bauer one bit. Bauer standing on the three-point line, gives it up to Smith. Pull-up jumper from 16, nails it. What a beautiful shot off of the dribble to the right by Smith.
And fading to the right as well.
14-13. That gives South Dakota State the lead by 1, 12-30. That's the play in the first half. Paul gets it up top to Heyer. Pump fakes, gets the defender on springs, gives it up to Paul, finds Cotton in the corner, drives, charges to the hole, layup good.
I'll tell you something, Scott Cotto may be the answer with a lot of people going down. The senior from Kalaheo High can carry him on his shoulders.
Cotto with 5, averages 10 a game along with 11 rebounds. Good numbers there. Andy Cohen has it, drives left baseline for the Jackrabbits. Too strong on the layup. Stevenson snags it down. Here comes HPU the other way. Michael Paul, nifty dribbling move before he pulls it out and calls the HPU offensive set. Rubbing off a screen set by Adel to the left. Paul drives down the lane. Leaner shot no good, but he's bailed out by a whistle.
Bailed out indeed, a little bit out of control, but there's a good look at Michael Paul from Palmdale, California. I'll tell you, this kid is exciting. Reminds me of Nick Van Exel. I'll tell you, when he makes an exciting shot, he'll give you a chest bump to get everybody fired up.
Foul called against Cody Vollmer. That's his first. 7 South Dakota State. Team foul. The first free throw for Michael Paul is good. He is an 83% free throw shooter. He does that very well. He is a 29% three-point shooter. Does not do that very well. Jamar Miller back into the game for the Sea Warriors. Shot by Paul is good. Timeout on the floor. 11:55 left to play in the first half. The Sea Warriors clinging on to a 3-point lead, 17-14 over the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. We'll take a break. You're watching and listening to HPU basketball on the simulcast. Jackrabbits, Hawaii Pacific 0-2 to start off the season. South Dakota State 2-0 and HPU with the 3-point advantage with 11:55 left to play in the first half.
Well, Sea Warriors 0-2 on the season. They are playing with the intensity of a 2-0 team. You had to know that was going to happen with Solito coached ball club. They will not be denied the effort.
Scott Cato so far with 5 points, along with Alvin Stevenson with his 5. They lead in scoring for Hawaii Pacific. 17-14 the score. South Dakota State will inbound from their defensive end of the court. The inbound pass goes to Casey Essling, and he brings it into the forecourt. Quickly attacked by Jamar Miller. HPU switching it up. They're now in the 2-3 zone defense. Good ball movement displayed by the Jackrabbits as they worked it pinball fashion. Down low to Bauer with the easy lay-in. 17-16. HPU still by 1. Michael Paul to the forecourt the other way. HPU going left to right. Paul running off the screen. Gets it to Heyer. Open for 3. Right side. It's up. It's good. First three-pointer of the season for Heyer, and it was smooth.
And it was butter. Maybe it looks like he could do that again. Solito's got to love that by Heyer.
Chance to answer for Mike Smith from the right side. No, the putback is a beautiful one by Cody Vollmer. Came out of nowhere to punch it back in. 20-18 now the score in favor of the Sea Warriors. They lead by a deuce. Michael Paul running off a screen set by Adel. Top of the circle to the left. Now stalls his dribble. Up top to Miller. Open for 3. It's in the air. It's good. HPU about
number one three-point shooter on the team for HPU, coming into game 5 of 15.
Mike Smith has it at the top for South Dakota State. Right-handed shovel pass up top to Cone. Ball slings down low to Vollmer. He tried to find the backdoor cutting Smith, but it was knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Ryan Adel. Scott Cato enters back into the game. Kabika Smith will take a breather. And a couple of substitutions. In fact, a whole mob of substitutions for South Dakota State.
You know, Scott Cato is going to have a lot of time playing between the lines this year, and the Sea Warriors will be counting on him all season long. So look for Scott Cato to put up big minutes.
Starters in the game for South Dakota State with the exception of Josh Cerveny, a 6'7 freshman from Indianola, Iowa. Hansen has the top of the circle to the left for South Dakota State. Ball swings around down to the right baseline. Fisher, jumper from 18, no good. Offensive rebound, Cerveny, but he loses it out of bounds. And it belongs to HPU. HPU in that 2-3 zone. They like to trap at the corners. It's like an amoeba defense. It just collects and to wherever the ball is on the court. And that time, it left the backside rebounding a little empty. But HPU in trouble over the end. Higher on a quick 3 off of the first pass from Michael Paul for HPU. It is an errant shot. It goes out of bounds. It belongs to the Jackrabbits.
You know, also that zone defense will force the Jackrabbits to shoot over them and keep them from the penetrating passing it in the low box.
Just over 10 minutes remaining in the first half. South Dakota State with it on the right baseline. Fisher gets it up. Back to Fisher. 12-foot jumper from the right baseline is picture perfect.
And if you can hit the jumper over the zone defense, you can beat it that way.
Ball quickly shimming into the full court for HPU. Gives it up to Jamar Miller, rolling around the arc, looking to penetrate. Back to Paul. Healthy 3 on the way from the right side. And a foul on the rebound. Will fall again. Josh Cerveny of the Jackrabbits. That will be his first. And that will be, I believe, the 18th foul for South Dakota State. That means HPU in the bonus. Ryan Adel will shoot free throws.
There you have it. Josh Cerveny, 6'7", fighting against 6'10" Ryan Adel. That time Ryan from Colorado. Upper hand, and just a good-looking Ryan Adel. The senior transfer, he's got 1 year to make his mark in HPU history. He's very excited about it, very articulate student athlete.
His third point of the game on the made free throw, and for our television viewers, an easy shot at the call by the official. Cerveny with the push down low. Ryan Adel averaging 10 points a game, 6.5 rebounds per contest, and also a 67% free throw shooter. Second one is up and good. So he makes them both count, and HPU leads by 5, 25-20. And a full court press being implemented by the Sea Warriors in the backcourt. Essling with it, dribbling around, gets it knocked away, somehow taps it to Fisher. Ahead to Hansen. Now they have the numbers 3-on-2. Hansen pull up in the lane is good.
Hansen had players on both sides of the wing. He decided to pull up and take to the rack himself. A nice decision by Austin Hansen.
6 points for Hansen. Under 9.5 to go in the first half. Michael Paul on the left wing for HPU gives it up to Higher, down to the post. Adel back to the basket. Turnaround shot from 6. Too strong. And a rebound by Bill Fisher. That one just. Hansen trying to force the issue. Up top to Fisher. One dribble inside the arc. The shot straight away is good. Rattles it home.
Fisher rattles it home, but it was the astute guard play of Austin again. Austin Hansen finding the open jumper.
Fisher with 6. 25-24 now the score. HPU by 1. Miller tries a 3 right side. Splash. And HPU goes back up by 4. Jamar Miller, his third tray of the game.
There are a lot of big shooters for HPU, but coming into the game, it was Jamar Miller leading the way in the three-point range.
Essling has it right side for South Dakota State. 28-24 the score. Just over 8.5 to go in the first half. Essling gets it back. Chest pass to Hansen. Left wing for 3. It's up. It's good.
Well, don't kid yourself. Austin Hansen is a freshman, but he plays beyond his years. Really an astute player at the guard position.
That is his 9th point of this first half. And this is turning into some kind of shootout here. Paul gets it down low to Cato. Defensive pressure too strong. He dribbles outside the arc, gives it back up to Paul. Working against Hansen, drives right of the lane, right by Hansen. The shot is no good. And Paul will earn his way to the free throw line as the whistles are blown in the process.
Yeah, Michael Paul wants to show there's 2 exciting point guards on the court. That time it was the Sea Warriors' turn to show what they can do. And Michael Paul from Palmdale, California, the junior, 6', 180 pounds, but rabbit quick.
Paul's first free throw, good.
Mercury quick by Michael Paul, trying to slip the defenders off the glass. Does not fall, but definitely goes to the line. You have to love that first step,
8-10 left to play. Basketball second free throw. That one dwindles out. Speaking of dwindling, the HPU roster has dwindled a little bit due to some injuries, inopportune injuries. Josh Newbern, one of those injuries, who is out. South Dakota State has it in the front court. On the left wing, just outside the arc, is Shantz. Gets it up top to Hansen. Now Fisher pulls it from the left wing with his toes touching the three-point arc. It is off the mark, and it is rebounded by Stevenson. HPU coming the other way. Miller right wing. Thought about the three. Decided to change his mind. Drove the lane. Tried to dish it underneath to Jamal Maiden, who just checked in. Miller gets it back and nails the three from the other side.
Well, the other guy on the media guide is Jamar Miller, and that looked just as sweet as Scott Cottos did earlier.
12 points for Miller, all three-pointers. He has 4 of them. South Dakota State with right wing Schnox looking into the post. The Hansen cutting without the ball, blocked on the way up. But somebody got him with the body. Maiden was in the area, also Michael Paul. And it will go against Paul. That's his first. 6th HPU team foul. 7 minutes remaining, and the clock is still ticking. Even though it is a dead ball, and now they stop it at 6:59. 32-28 HPU, and Hansen to the charity stripe. We'll try a couple for South Dakota State. First one is up, and it is no good. Credit that one perhaps to the fans here in the Blaisdell Center trying to get in his ear.
That, as well as the breakneck pace of this contest, maybe Hansen showing a little fatigue.
South Dakota State still with an enrollment of 8,635. Second free throw is good by Hansen, and that cuts the lead to 3. We will take a break. 6:59 left to play in the first half. 32-29 HPU. You're watching and listening to HPU basketball on the simulcast.
Hansen, good choice by Jamar Miller. He buried that with no hesitation, and that's what it's going to take to see where he's to get back in this thing all season long, to just play with reckless abandon within the program, within the philosophy.
Yeah, Miller with the hot hand. He leads HPU in scoring with 12 on 4 3-pointers. He is a 33% three-point shooter through the first 2 games of the season. And tonight he has been bettering that average by quite a margin.
You know, another good stat is Jamar had 9 turnovers, only 5 assists coming into the game. Right now it's 3 assists, 1 turnover.
I'd like to once again welcome all our listeners on Kumu AM 1500 and all our viewers on Oceanic Cable Channel 16. HPU with it. Miller drives right of the lane, gets it down low to Adel. Couple of pumps, and then he's able to pump it in.
Make that 4 assists for Jamar Miller, finding the open Ryan Adel.
34-28 HPU by 6. At the top, Hansen tosses up ball. Good penetration. The pass, however, intended for the player down low. Bryce Bauer was knocked out of bounds. That's touched by HPU. So South Dakota State will insert it into play from the baseline. Hansen will do the honors. Bounce pass on the right wing goes to Schmidt. Bounce pass to Hansen. Back up the baseline. HPU with 2 threes on the inbound. The shot at the baseline is blocked by Adams. No good. Stevenson in the rebound. He was fouled.
Great position by Alvin Stevenson Jr. And I'll tell you, you have to love his offensive and defensive rebounding ability, almost like Willie Flowers, the All-Pac West performer that we lost to graduation last year. He just has a nose for the ball.
Alvin Stevenson will reap the benefits of the foul, and he will shoot. Fisher, too strong on the follow-up, and going over the back of Alvin Stevenson. He has a chance to shoot a couple of free throws thanks to the bonus situation. That was the 10th team foul for South Dakota State, second personal for Bill Fisher. Leading the way in scoring so far for the Jackrabbits, 10 for Austin Hansen. Quick substitution for head coach Scott Nagy. He brings in Cody Ballmer, one of the starting 5, back into the contest. Stevenson. Second free throw is good. So he gets 1 of 2 from the line. 35-28 HPU. 6:20 left to play in the first half. Hansen has it in the backcourt. Michael Paul will rudely meet him at midcourt. Hansen surveying the floor in front of him from low right hand. I think on dribble. Gets down low to Ballmer. Ballmer bowls over Kato, and he is called for the charge. Kato with good position there. left to play in the first. Michael Paul has it for the Sea Warriors. Paul revving up a screen set by Adel to the left. Penetrates, pulls up, and shoots from 12. Too strong on the shot. Rebound, Vollmer. Here come the Jackrabbits. Hansen crosses the timeline, surveying the floor. Through the lane with the dribble. Now maintains the left-handed dribble. Bounce pass down low. Vollmer, turnaround shot over Kato. No good. Rebound fought for. Still loose. And coming out with it is Jamar Miller for HPU. Into the front court he goes. To Paul. To Kato. Right wing. Thought about the three. Driving the baseline. Back up to Paul. Three up. No good. That one fell well short. Offensive rebound, Adel out to Kato, right wing. He tries the shot with his feet on the line. That's no good. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by South Dakota State.
Scott Cotto was calling for the ball in transition coming down the lane. They didn't see it. Finally got back to Scott. He didn't bury that shot, but he's looking. I think Scott feels like he's hot right now.
Substitution once again for South Dakota State. Andy Coleman comes in. Replaces Derek Schatz. HPU inbounds into Scott. Kato reverse layup good.
And Scott Cotto is hot right now. He feels it. He's asking for the ball. They've got to find a 6'7 senior from Colorado High.
The lead is now 9 points for the Sea Warriors. Hansen pull-up shot from 18. That one goes astray. An air ball, mad scramble, and a fight down on the baseline, literally for the loose ball. And they will say that it goes out of bounds. Last touch by South Dakota State. It looked like a wrestling match down there between Alvin Stevenson and Bryce Bauer. Stevenson, who is a big pro wrestling fan, his favorite wrestlers, probably the favorite pro wrestlers of most of the people who watch that stuff in the WWF, The Rock, and also Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he did his best impression of one of their moves down on the baseline there. HPU gets the ball back, though. 37-28, Sea Warriors, 5 minutes left to go here in the first half. Paul on the right wing. Adel setting a screen for him to the left. Up top it goes to Miller. He has had the hot hand. Takes a dribble left, pulls up for three. Splash. Nothing but twine for Jamar Miller. He has 15 5-trays on the night.
Both seniors picking it up, Cotto and Jamar Miller.
Hansen gets it on the left baseline at home. Shot from 12, no good. Put back follow Vollmer, and he is blocked by Adel. Scramble for the loose ball. Vollmer gets it back. Looking to distribute on the other side of the lane. Finds Bauer. Layup good. Just able to sneak it past Kato and oncoming attack defensively of Alvin Stevenson. Michael Paul quickly into the forecourt for HPU. The lead is 10 for the Sea Warriors, 40-30. Here's Stevenson rubbing off the screen at the top. Shimmies his way down the lane. Loses control of the dribble. It goes out of bounds along the end line, and it'll belong to South Dakota State. Jamar Miller, what a story he has been here in this first half. 15 points on 5 3-pointers. And he is looking to shoot every time because he is just smoking out of the palm. Hansen has it for the Jackrabbits. Gets it to Essling. And he gets in an arm wrestling match with Jamar Miller. Both of their hands on the ball. And they will call a foul against Essling for throwing an elbow, trying to maneuver Miller out of it.
And right in front of the HPU bench, maybe some lobbying by the coaching staff. Maybe help facilitate that call, but see where your ball nonetheless.
On one side, you have the very vocal, very active Tony Solito. On the other side, Scott Nagy, who just decided to raise up out of his seated position. He has been stoic virtually the entire half. Miller left wing, trying to lean in shot. That's too strong. Offensive rebound, Stevenson. Spin, roll, pump fake. Muscle shot, good, and one.
I don't believe it. Alvin Stevenson Jr. is a coming out party of sorts for Alvin Stevenson. He is a player so athletic, we can only hope to see him in transition for a close, hopefully tonight.
That extends the HPU lead to 12, 42-30. Now the score. HPU on top with 3:50 left to play in the first half.
You know, Kano, if you saw Alvin Stevenson walking down the mall at HPU, you'd think he's a librarian. Very calm and collected, his demeanor, quiet, if you will, but not between the lines.
Yeah, he is a soft-spoken player, but his game speaks volumes. We'll take a break, 43-30, HPU. Well, it's for the Hawaii Pacific University Sea Warriors, Jamar Miller's 5 3-pointers in the first half that have been able to propel them to a 13-point lead with 3:50 left to play in the first half. Miller with 15 to lead all scorers, leading the way for South Dakota State, 10 for Austin Hansen. But HPU, after a tempered start that went back and forth, Jackrabbits scoring, and it seemed like every time they scored, the Sea Warriors answered, and vice versa. But HPU now enjoying a 13-point lead. I'd like to welcome everybody listening on Kuma AM 1500 and everyone watching us right here on Oceanic Cable Channel 16. Top of the circle to the left. Shantz has it for South Dakota State. HPU in the 2-3 zone. Dribbles out of a double team. Gets it to Hansen on the right wing. Even with the free throw line. Now to the elbow. Essling swings the ball over. Left wing. The shot by Bauer off the glass is good.
Great ball movement. A very well-disciplined, well-coached team by the Jackrabbits, but they're going to have to hit some three balls to match Jamar.
43-32. Michael Paul coming the other way for HPU. Revving up a screen set by Cato to the right. Up top to Miller. He has been dangerous. Pull-up shot from 18. Nothing but net again.
The Jamar Miller Show from the Neil Blaisdell Center. Elvis Presley made this famous in the 70s. Right now, it's Jamar's house.
He has 17. His first non-three-pointer of the game. Shots with the ball far outside the arc. Ball swings around to the left wing, even with the free throw line to Hansen. Up top, Bauer tries to feed it to the backdoor, cutting Essling, but it's kicked by Adams. South Dakota State will inbound from the baseline. 19 seconds on the shot clock.
You know, Cano, when I was looking at the stats today, I saw that Jamar had the most 3 points on the team. I thought it was a typo. Who am I kidding? Jamar's got a 3-ball game.
Hansen, inbound up top goes to Essling on the left wing. Cone in down low. Turnaround shot by Bauer. That's too strong. Rebound fought for. A whistle is blown by the officials, and it will go against South Dakota State. It'll be against Essling, trying to sneak in there over somebody's shoulder. And HPU will shoot free throws as the Jackrabbits are over the foul line.
You know, Cano, you talked before the game, Tony Slito having 254 victories. Well, something we haven't discussed is Tony has 99 losses. Well, that triple-digit loss is inevitable. It will happen this year. But Tony Slito does not want it to happen tonight. He would much rather have it in the Division I tournament or not at all. But 99 losses and counting, Slito does not want that to occur this evening.
First free throw by Paul is good. Second one, same result. That was the third personal foul against Casey Essling. He is no longer with us on the court. Mike Smith inserted to take his place. He has the ball right being stared at by Jamar Miller. Ball is around to the left side. Guarded by Cato. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Cone has yet to do something with it. Takes one dribble, pulls up for the shot. It does not go after dancing tantalizingly on the rim. But he is fouled, tapped on the elbow by Scott Cato. Cato disagrees vehemently. But it will be Andy Cone shooting free throws for the Jackrabbits.
And a sizable crowd for the Jackrabbits have made the trek to the 50th state, as you can hear them yelling defense when HPU's on offense. That's the Jackrabbit fans that have come from South Dakota.
Cone standing at 6'8", showing a little agility on that last play. Pulling up for the jumper off of the dribble. Nearly a 33% free throw shooter. Gets 1 of 2 on that trip. Offensive rebound. Smith put back good. 47-35. HPU still by a dozen. Just over 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Paul surveying the floor laid out in front of him. At the point guard position. Hands it off to Stevenson. Goes between the legs. Loses control of it. But Paul down in the spot there to pick it up. HPU has an 18 on the shot clock. Chest pass to Miller. Long three-pointer from straight away. It's up. It is no good. Mad chase for the rebound. And it is fielded nicely by Hansen. Ahead it goes for South Dakota State to Cone. Nice kiss off the glass. Pulls up from 12 feet away on the right side. And the lead is trimmed to 10.
And that time Cone took Scott Cotto a little bit closer to the rack before he pulled up in transition, and a nice kiss off the glass for the finish. Scott Cotto had good position, but I think he was playing a little tentative. Didn't want to get that foul.
Timeout signaled by Hawaii Pacific University. They have 4 remaining. South Dakota State has yet to use any of their 5 timeouts. 1:42 left to play in the first half. 47-37 in favor of HPU.
Yeah. We'd like to say aloha and mahalo to all the folks at Anheuser-Busch for the sponsorship of Hawaii Pacific University Athletics. Budweiser, the king of beers, and they always want to remind you folks, know when to say when.
So the Sea Warriors starting off the season 0-2. But Tony Salito talking with him before the game, he is not in any kind of panic mode. He simply says, hey, it is early in the year. This is a team with a lot of new faces, a lot of new personalities. It takes some getting used to. They have injuries. And so he is not too worried. And you don't really expect Tony Salito, after all these years, to get too bent out of shape over 2 losses.
Exactly. And you see this look in his eyes when you talk to the coach about, he's done so many things. He had a state championship in high school. He had a national championship in the NAIA. It's like he has nothing to prove. He knows what he can do. And I think he's taking this on with a lot of excitement. Like, what can he do with this team? How far can they go? It can only bode well for his program, his philosophy, and HPU in general.
We mentioned the injuries for Hawaii Pacific. Josh Newbern, 6'5" senior forward, dislocated a shoulder in the second exhibition game of the year. In fact, he tried to go back into the game a couple of times after initially dislocating his shoulder, and they said that it popped out 2 more times, which is gruesome to think. And it has kept him out so far the entire regular season. In the first 2 games, he will be out another couple of weeks. Lamar Miller has it in the deep left corner for HPU out of the timeout. Ball around the arc, hands it off to Stevenson, rubbing off the screen set by Cox. Stevenson with a pass to Miller. Miller looking into the post, but I'm sure he's also thinking shoot. Here's Paul on the other side. Bounce pass into Adel. Turnaround shot off the glass. Too strong. It rims out. The rebound snagged in by Bauer. Mike Smith will work it into the forecourt. Finds Shantz. Shantz trying to find a seam in the HPU defense. Falls to the floor on a loose ball. Paul comes out with it through all that mess, and then a whistle against South Dakota State way back in the backcourt.
Yeah, the aforementioned South Dakota crowd behind us does not like that call, to say the least, but it will go against the Jackrabbits nonetheless.
It'll go against Smith. That is his first personal, and again, South Dakota State well over the 10-foul limit, which means Michael Paul will once again go to the free throw line. Paul has 5 points, all on free throws. He is 5 of 6 from the charity stripe. First try on this trip. Good.
But the best stat for Paul right now, is 7 assists, no turnovers. That's got to make Tony Salido giddy.
That reminds you of another point guard that recently played for Hawaii Pacific University.
Shannon Lee, if my memory serves me.
Shannon Lee out of Kaimuki High School finished up his eligibility with the team last season and will go down in HPU history as one of the best they ever had. Full court pressure off of the free throw. HPU by 12. South Dakota State panicking, and they turn it over. At midcourt, Shantz tried to dish a bullet pass into the deep corner to Andy Cohn, and it sailed well over him. Andy Cohn needed to have George Mirasan height to even attempt to try and catching that pass.
There you go. Tony Salido for our TV audience, off the bench, pumping his fist. Just love the defensive effort invoked by his team on that sequence.
HPU now has it. 40 seconds left to play in the first half. Shot clock at 26. Michael Paul gets it up top to Stevenson. 49-37 HPU. Stevenson has it, drives right baseline, right by the defender, charges in to the big man down low for the Jackrabbits, Bryce Bauer, but they called the defensive foul against South Dakota State, and it is against Bauer. So 2 free throws coming up for Alvin Stevenson. Second foul against Bauer.
Alvin Stevenson with 9 points, looking to get into double digits right here, Kanoa, and 17 for Jamar Miller. Get this, 6 of 8 for Jamar. He is unconscious.
Stevenson 3 for 6 from the line tonight. Make that 4 for 7.
And there's Alvin Stevenson with a lot of courage going against some bigger players. No regard for his own body, and right there he goes to the rack and then goes to the line.
Another timeout taken. 32 seconds left to play in the first half. 50-37 in favor of Hawaii Pacific University. Once again, like to thank all of our listeners on Kumu AM 1500 and all our viewers on Oceanic Cable Channel 16. We will bring you the simulcast on each and every HPU home game played inside the Neil Blaisdell Center.
I'd like to say aloha and mahalo to our friends at Outback Steakhouse. I'll tell you, you're looking for a big, juicy steak, there's only one place to go. That's Outback. No rules, just right.
All of our sponsors for helping us get on the air. This is our inaugural broadcast on Oceanic Cable Channel 16 for this brand new HPU Sea Warrior basketball season. Stevenson still with another try remaining from the free throw line. Second one is up and it rims out. Rebound snagged in by Andy Cohn for South Dakota State, and Hansen will control the ball handling responsibilities and walking across the timeline, going right to left. Gets it to the hands of Mike Smith. Ball swings back over to Hansen. Deep left corner, HPU in the 2-3 trapping zone defense. Hansen in and out from the post. Drives past 2 defenders. Good ball movement for South Dakota State. Shantz with the jumper from the right baseline. It's good.
Jumper falls for Shantz, but I'll tell you that ball movement you talked about, Hansen, what a player.
50-39. Paul with the seconds dwindling in the first half. A running shot is good. What a play by Michael Paul, bouncing back
kind of reminds me of Nick Van Exel, if you will. He has the flair for making big things happen at the buzzer, and Michael Paul does it again at the buzzer, nothing but net.
All with 9, 52-39, HPU at halftime. We'll be back after this on the simulcast. Del Center, Kanoa Leahy along with Robert Langcap. 52-39, your halftime score. The Sea Warriors up by a baker's dozen. They lead by 13 over South Dakota State. We'd like to once again thank and welcome all of our listeners on Kumu AM 1500 and our viewers on Oceanic Cable Channel 16. We are on the simulcast tonight, and it was a first half that was seized by HPU in the last 10 minutes, and they lead by 13. We will take another break, and we will be back to talk more statistics and second half action after this on the simulcast.
If someone asks you why they should come to Hawaii Pacific University, what do you tell them? Well, you can say it's because HPU is a global meeting place. Just walk around the downtown Honolulu campus. You'll see people and hear languages from all over the earth. Everyone in the world feels at home here. You can tell them that Hawaii is one of the most beautiful places to live anywhere. All you have to do is stand on our Hawaii Loa campus and look around you. It's a very special place. You could say that HPU offers every feature you want or expect in a university. Plenty of academic options, a faculty with an international reputation, energetic classrooms, state-of-the-art laboratories, and an academic curriculum that balances theory with the real world. All that plus great athletic teams, exciting cultural events, rewarding lifestyles make HPU the university of the future. Just listen to what students and faculty think about HPU.
My name is Michael Lalim, and I'm from Burlington, Vermont. When I was looking for schools, I found Hawaii Pacific, and I could major in actual oceanography as an undergraduate student. But I was caught by the small student-to-faculty ratio. The classes are only about 30 students maximum. Out here we have over 80 countries and all 50 states represented. I feel like I've been around the world a couple times.
Finland,
Ghana,
Turkey,
Russia,
Poland,
Syria, Italy, Argentina.
My name's Ying Hui, and I'm from Singapore. I knew I wanted to study travel industry management, and right now that's my major. Not many people believe that we study here, but we really do work very hard for our degrees. The great thing about it is, though, after class you can hit the beach, go surfing. There's a lot of hiking, windsurfing, a lot of water sports. It's a real cultural experience.
Samoa, Sri Lanka,
Seattle, Washington,
Pearl City,
Hinesville, Georgia, Kona.
My name is Kim Mikimoto, and I'm from the Honolulu area in Honolulu, Hawaii. As a communications major, I think HPU is a great school to attend because it's right downtown. There's a lot of internship opportunities, a lot of businesses surrounding the school. I get to meet people from all over the world. I get to learn about different cultures.
Malaysia, France,
Taiwan,
Marshall Islands,
West Lafayette, Indiana,
Kalihi,
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Maldives, Tahiti.
My name is Alex Weinfeld. I'm originally from Germany, was raised in Brazil, and I'm currently enrolled in the MBA program. HPU itself is a great melting pot. When you come here for the first time, you don't really know in which country you are. There are people from all over the world.
Fiji Islands,
Honolulu,
Portland, Maine,
Canada,
Pakistan, the Netherlands.
Any place you can learn facts, you can learn theories, you can read textbooks. It seems to me Hawaii Pacific has something extra. It has excitement. It's learning about people by being with people of all different perspectives, all different understandings, all different backgrounds. The result of all of this is really an exciting learning environment. You can't help but go out into the global economy today and feel vitalized, feel you have the tools for really coping with the world.
Hawaii Pacific University has always placed an emphasis on combining classroom study with career preparation. Hawaii Pacific University, where people of the world come to study.
Welcome back to the Neo Blaisdell Center. Kanawalehi along with Robert Langfab. This is our inaugural broadcast of Hawaii Pacific University basketball on Oceanic Cable Channel 16 and also on Kumu AM 1500. Quickly go over the first half. It was a first half that really was like a tennis match in the first 10 minutes, just back and forth, and then HPU seizing control thanks to 5 3-pointers by Jamar Miller. He leads the way with 17. We'll take another quick break, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more about statistics after this on the simulcast. Blaisdell Center, Kanawalehi along with Robert Langpap. And Robert, first half, it was an exciting one if you're an HPU fan.
Yeah, it certainly was. You talked about that back-and-forth tennis match style basketball in the beginning, but HPU slowly pulled away. But it was tenacious defense by Jamar Miller. And Jamar Miller's offense started by his defense with a block early. And here's Jamar with the block. And then from that defense, he put it together. Kato filled it up with some jumpers from the outside, taking it low against the glass. And then it was more outside shooting. But then it was Jamar Miller taking over. 3-ball after 3-ball for Jamar Miller. The look, the stop, the pop. And as you say, Kanoa, splash.
Yeah, Jamar Miller really caught fire in the first half, finishing with 17 points to lead all scorers. And you, for our television viewers, you see a lot of the replays, a lot of the three-point highlights that he did have in the first half. He had 5 3-pointers total coming into the game in the first 2 regular season games for HPU. He only shot 33% from beyond the arc, so he really did improve that average in that number in that first half by a pretty strong margin. Elsewhere in scoring, behind Jamar Miller with 10 points, Alvin Stevenson able to punch in some offensive contributions of his own. 9 points for Michael Paul, and the interesting thing about Paul is he only had 1 field goal. The rest were all free throws. He had 7 points worth of shots from the free throw line, and he shot a good percentage as well. He was 7 for 8. He finished with 9 in the first half. Scott Kato with 7. He also had a triple and 6 points for Ryan Adel, leading the way for South Dakota State. 10 for Austin Hansen and 8 for Bryce Bauer. We'll take another break, and we'll be back with second half action after this on the simulcast. 2:39 is the halftime score. Hawaii Pacific over South Dakota State. The Jackrabbits coming in with a 2-0 record. The Sea Warriors 0-2 after their first road trip to the continent. On the 19th, they lost to Regis 76-67 in OT. Lost to Colorado Christian the next night 93-63. First half statistics, and there you see the story of the game. Hawaii Pacific shooting a great percentage from the field, 52%, whereas South Dakota State actually not much worse, 47%. But the Sea Warriors winning the battle at the free throw line, 13 for 18, 6 for 8 for the Jackrabbits. And in three-pointers, it is very one-sided. HPU 7 and the Jackrabbits merely 1.
You know, 7 is a number that flies off this stat sheet as well. You talked about Michael Paul with 9 points. Well, I like the 7 assists and no turnovers. Michael Paul flirting with a double-double. And when you can do a double-double and do 10 assists, I'll tell you, you're doing something.
And that's the kind of production that Tony Salito wants from his team. Jamar Miller, 17 points in the first half, 5 3-pointers. But now the question becomes, can HPU remain that hot in the second half? I mean, they shot phenomenally from the field, but that is perhaps going to be more of a rarity than anything else.
Yeah, well, the Sea Warriors, and they were out-rebounded the Jackrabbits 19-18, so they're going to have to continue to bang the boards. And fatigue may become a factor later because you talked about a lot of substitutions by the head coach for the Jackrabbits. And that's Scott Nagy. He's just working that bench like shuffling a deck of cards. Salito basically sticking with the main group of players, and we'll see if fatigue sets in for the Sea Warriors in the second half.
Because I'm not sure if any team, if it's humanly possible to remain that hot in 2 consecutive halves. But the Sea Warriors, and I'm sure Tony Salito will hope that that can be possible. But they do have good padding here to start the second stanza, 52-39, HPU by 13. And they will start with possession of the basketball. Same starting 5 that started the game in for HPU. Jamar Miller, Alvin Stevenson, Kavika Smith, Scott Kato, and Ryan Adel. Same starting 5 for South Dakota State with the exception of Bryce Bauer. He is in there. And he is in there in place of Cody Vollmer. Vollmer in foul trouble with 3. Jamar Miller has it up top for HPU. Lob pass to Adel and a great post up as the defender was running easy it'll ever get for Ryan Adel. 54-39, HPU by 15. South Dakota State coming back. Shots. Lead-in shot, no good. Offensive rebound. Bauer relocates it to shots. Now Fisher gets in a tug of war with Miller. His pass knocked away by Miller. And it will go out of bounds beyond the end line. South Dakota State will hang on to it.
Yeah, first sequence on the pass from Miller to Adel, you can almost hear the chalk banging on the chalkboard to perfection.
Here's Shans with it on the left wing. Gets it to Essling, rotates it over to Hansen, right wing. Rises up in the air, gets stuck, but finds Fisher out of the corner of his eye. Fisher takes one dribble, terminates that, and hands it off to Essling. Kalika Smith coming out to harass him. HPU in the 3-2 extended zone. Here's Hansen on the left wing, even with the free throw line. Bounce pass down low, Bauer. Goes all the way up top to Essling. Southpaw, left-handed three, no good. And a skyscraper rebound for Kalika Smith. Here comes HPU. Jamar Miller, the other way. Hesitation move. Down the lane. Running shot. No good. It's an air ball. The rebound by Essling. He'll try to push the issue for the Jackrabbits. Ahead. It goes to Shans. Layup no good. Was bothered by Miller. Kato coming the other way for HPU. The big man running the floor to the hole. And he is called for the offensive foul.
Scott Cotto out on the wing. Maybe it would have been better served to pull up and look for a pitch that ball, but Scott, you're not going to stop him when he has that type of enthusiasm.
Tony Salito asking Scott Cato, get it to the guard on the fast break, but Cato is not your usual post-up player. He does have the benefits in ability from some of the other areas of the game, but that time a little out of control on the drive.
In fact, exactly. Scott Cotto had a couple tomahawk slams in transition last year. And for our TV audience, you see Scott Cotto also implemented a nice elbow on that finish. He got his money's worth.
We're on the simulcast Google AM 1500 if you're listening on radio and Oceanic FM 16 for our television viewers. Essling has it up top. He hits the southpaw for South Dakota State. Bounce pass down low. Fisher makes room for himself with that left shoulder. Turnaround shot, no good, but he is fouled by Adel.
And right now, the philosophy for head coach Scott Nagy in his fifth year is to take the ball down low and maybe get some fouls on the Sea Warrior big man, because he's got to know that that bench is depleted. And if he gets these big guys sitting down, it would serve his Jackrabbits quite nicely.
That's Adel's first personal of the game. Free throw by Fisher is good. Fisher, a big boy downstairs, 6'7" senior. He is well over 230.
Battle of the big boys right there.
Second free throw good. That trims the lead just a notch down to 13, 54-41. Favor the Sea Warriors, 18:31 left to play in the game. Now the officials blowing the whistle. Bill Fisher may have some blood somewhere on his uniform or his body. He might be bleeding from the mouth. After the contact on that last foul, he will have to be taken out. In his place, Cody Vollmer playing with 3 personal fouls. He's on the floor. HPU coming the other way, Jamar Miller. Stalls the dribble early, gets it to Smith. Good touch pass. Stevenson layup good.
All right, there's a highlight film for next year's promo. 3-man basketball to perfection for the Sea Warriors.
Stevenson with 12, 56-41. The lead back to 15. Hansen putting the spin move on Miller. Gets it up top to Vollmer. On the right wing, it goes to Bauer. Drives the baseline layup, no. And a blocking foul called against Alvin Stevenson. Bauer has been an active player. Remember, he is only a freshman, stands at 6 feet 9 inches. Averaging 12 points per game, 9 rebounds in the contest, but only a 50% free throw shooter. So that is an area that he hopes to improve on in the near future. Free throw is up and it is good. South Dakota State, they are struggling with injuries as well this year. 3 players on their original active roster, they are out with injuries. They had to redshirt another supposed active player. So they are down to a roster of only 10 players available. Offensive rebound, good fight put up by South Dakota State. Finally, Andy Cohn comes up with it and cleans up the mess. 59-43. HPU up by 16. Here's Stevenson on the right wing. Puts it on the floor to the left, drives the lane, running shot out of control, no good. He catches his own shot out of the air. It looked awkward, and somehow Stevenson earns his way to the free throw line.
You know, you get a feeling that Alvin Stevenson Jr. was the last guy to ever leave the gymnasium. His mother tried to pull him out of under the street lights. This guy has a game, and he loves to play. He does it with so much enthusiasm.
And right now the scoreboard, a little schizophrenic. It was all over the place. Now it reads the right score. It is 56-44 in favor of HPU. The lead is 12. 17-40 in favor of the left HPU, playing with it offensively. Kanto, left wing for three. That one too strong. Rebound snagged in by Esslin. Esslin spins, rolls at midcourt, now into the forecourt. Staring into the eyes of Alvin Stevenson. HPU. And the man-to-man defense. And a whistle called against Kavika Smith, and he may have taken a shot to the mug as well.
And Kavika staggering. He may be had his bell rung, if you will.
And Smith taking a few moments to establish exactly where he is right now. Not sure exactly where he was hit or where the contact took place, but it may have been in the mouth. He may be bleeding.
And Tony Salido was wondering how come the foul could be called on Kavika Smith as he, for our TV viewers, comes in. Watch that out, that left elbow. Apparently was before then. But Kavika apparently took a shot to the mouth.
It may be a combination. Kavika Smith now down in front of the bleacher area off of the baseline. He has a cloth to his mouth, so we assume that he is bleeding on the lip. Also, it may be a combination of that elbow he took to the sternum, because it looked as though he had the wind knocked out of him. It was not just that he took a shot to his grill.
You never want to see a player hurt as big man's coach Tony Smalley comes over to the bottom of the screen to go check out Kavika, but you never want to see any athletes hurt. But I'll tell you, Kavika Smith, one of the great gentlemen of the game and a great student athlete, so we hope he is okay. And HPU they're going to need Kavika all season long for his acrobatics.
And a few drops of blood did reach the hardwood, so a few moments will be taken to clean up whatever blood is out there on the floor. Kavika Smith, 6'4" junior out of Damien High School, averaging 3.5 points per game and 4 rebounds a contest. Scoreless tonight. But Kavika Smith, definitely one of the great athletes that Tony Salido has been able to pull into this program. He spent time at a few junior colleges on the continent before coming back home to Hawaii, and he is playing here at HPU.
Outrigger Hotels and Resorts of Hawaii, sponsors of HPU Athletics. I tell you, when you take a shot to the mouth and you need a soft bed, go to Outrigger Hotels.
Well, we'd like to take this time now to send out our appreciation to all our sponsors helping us out here on the broadcasts. We're on the simulcast, Kumu AM 1500 radio, and on Oceanic Cable Channel 16. And this appears to be perhaps more serious than first perceived, because Kavika Smith, even though he is off the playing surface, he is being greatly tended to. It looks as though the players are getting ready to begin action once again with Kavika Smith off of the playing surface. South Dakota State getting ready to inbound from the baseline. Austin Hansen will do the honors, and it will be an awkward atmosphere with the game going on and Kavika Smith being seriously tended to just off of the playing surface. Hansen will inbound from the baseline for the Jackrabbits. Ball swings up top to Esslin. Gets it in low to Bauer. Relocates it out to Cone. Back into Bauer. Back to the basket against Adel. Turnaround shot. High Archer off the rim. Good rebound. Pulled in by Gary Hyder, who checks in. He replaces Kavika Smith. Stevenson shimmies into the forecourt. Now gives it up to Jamar Miller. Just under 17 minutes remaining in the game. 56-44 HPU. Here's Jamar Miller. Bulldozes his way down to the baseline. Lean in. Shot does not go. Rebound snagged by Fisher. Here comes South Dakota State running the floor. Cone in the front court. 16-foot shot. That falls short. Offensive rebound. Fisher. He gets it to Hansen. Open for three. Left wing. It's up. It is no good. Good box out. Displayed by Hyder. He corrals the board. And HPU the other way. Jamar Miller up top to Stevenson. Wide open for three. He has time to catch his breath. And he nails it. Nothing but net.
And right now the Sea Warriors are playing for Kavika Smith, and that time Alvin Stevenson buries it from long range.
15 for Stevenson, his first triple of the evening. Kavika Smith being helped back to the locker room area. We will bring you an update when we get home. South Dakota State in their offense. Esslin trapped down low on the baseline, able to dribble out of the pressure. Pulled by Kanto, and Stevenson now gets to Fisher up top. Stevenson has gone further here in the last few moments. Hansen to Fisher. Free throw line shot. It's up, and it is no good. Offensive rebound pulled in by Bauer. Down low. Pump takes a couple of
the walk down in the low box, but a bucket nonetheless for the Jackrabbits.
Now a couple of Sea Warriors trying to redo their shoelaces. The time was not stopped officially. So they will resume play. Jamar Miller in the fourth quarter. On the screen set by Stevenson to the left. Stalls his dribble, gets it up top to Hire. Able to hit his first three-pointer in that first half. First three-pointer of the season. He was 0 for 8 coming into the game. Here's Miller, one-on-one with Esley. Esley gets a piece of it, dives on the floor, picks it up, great steal. Ahead it goes to Hansen. One-on-one with Stevenson, layup, no, and he is fouled. Stevenson was giving chase, and Hansen just trying to sneak it up there before Stevenson could get his paw on it. And Hansen will shoot. Stevenson picking up his third person.
Yeah, and the third turnover for Jamar Miller tonight with 4 assists, so he's still in the black there for assist-turnover ratio, but a big turnover nonetheless. And Alvin Stevenson elevating to try to stop the easy layup and fouled him, but would definitely deny that transition bucket.
Well, you mentioned Robert Parker as the first free throw goes in for Hansen last year, one of the great stars for HPU. And just like Robert Parker, Stevenson trying to time his jump, chasing Hansen because he wanted to try to get the shot block, came up just a little late. Timeout on the floor, 59-48 HPU on the simulcast. Left to play in the game, 59-48 in favor of Hawaii Pacific University. So far, the Sea Warriors led in scoring by Jamar Miller with 17 first-half points, 15 for Alvin Stevenson. And Stevenson with the three-pointer just a few moments ago. That gave him 15 for the game, his first tray of this evening. And Alvin Stevenson has been able to do it in really a variety of ways. He finished the first half leading the team in rebounds, and he right now has 6 of them. Jamar Miller in the front court for HPU goes right by Hansen. Scoop layup shot, no good. He was a little overzealous on that drive. Hansen coming the other way, kicking off the coach state to Eslin down low, able to just tweak up that shot between Kato and Stevenson. And on the rebound, a foul called against the Jackrabbits. The shot, no good from Eslin.
And right now, Scott Cotto and Ryan Adel turned into a bookend pair of shot blockers, if you will. Causing some havoc around the rack, and that's good news for Sea Warriors.
If not shot blockers, maybe shot botherers.
There you go.
Jamar Miller has it for HPU. Concern for Kavika Smith. He is back in the locker room. We have not received any word just yet on his condition. Good give and go to Scott Kato. Able to move without the ball after setting the screen, and he lays it in 61-48. South Dakota State the other way. Shot by Cone from the free throw line. No good. Rebound. Fisher put back good.
You know, a lot like the first half, trading buckets. But right now, HPU up by 11.
The other way. Pass broken up by Hansen. Here come the Jackrabbits. Hansen down the middle. 3-on-2. Scoop shot. No. And he's called for the offensive foul. And we do have an update now on Kavika Smith as the foul goes against South Dakota State's Hansen. That is his third. It belongs to HPU. Kavika Smith apparently had 4 bottom teeth knocked loose just before he went down. He is in the locker room. They are tending to him there. Higher for 3 from straight away, and he left the wrist cocked and splashed it through, no problem. 64-50. Higher with his 6th point of the game, second quarter. Left wing, Mike Smith has it for South Dakota State. The Fisher will go back to Smith, cut off at the baseline, out to Fisher, 16 shot left wing, no good. Rebound knocked out of the Sea Warriors. They lead by 14. Just under 14 minutes remaining in the game, but Kavika Smith, we definitely send our best wishes to him, and in hopes that perhaps it is not as bad as it may sound.
Yeah, definitely. And Gary Higher, boy, he looked like he hit that 3 ball before, and something tells me he's going to do it again.
Jamar Miller at the top, lob pass to Stevenson, who comes flying in to throw it down.
With some elevation and some exclamation.
And here's a steal for HPU. Higher. They have it 3-on-2. Higher down the lane. He'll take it himself, and he is fouled on the way up. Alvin Stevenson took a skip on a cloud as he approached the rim.
I talked to Alvin Stevenson today at the penthouse at that leg department. I said, hey, I know you can finish. If you get out on the break or get a chance to alley-oop, don't worry about it if you feel the need. Well, there, he certainly did feel the need, and he filled the rack. I thought he was going to tear the rack off, and where does the Hawaiian lay?
Stevenson with 17 points. Jamar Miller gave him the perfect feed.
Jamar Miller's been the shooting guard tonight. Now he's the point guard with the alley-oop. Alvin, the new Sea Warrior, he can slam folks, and with his hands raised into the air, the new sheriff in town, his name's Alvin Stevenson Jr.
Credit the assist to Jamar Miller. He put that exactly where it needed to be.
Oh, he threaded the needle at about 10 feet, 6 inches. Alvin Stevenson did the rest.
So the Sea Warriors now lead by 16, 66-50 with 13:31 left to play in the game. Once again, we'd like to welcome all our listeners on Kumu AM 1500 and our television viewers on Oceanic Cable Channel 16. Higher will go to the free throw line for HPU shooting 2, 6'5" junior from Downey, California. And for our television viewers, there you can see Tony Solito making his way back to the locker room. He will check his starting forward tonight, Kavika Smith.
Well, Kanoa, you're a player. You played on the state championship basketball team. You know what it's about. Are the Sea Warriors elevating their game right now because of what happened to Kavika? Because since he's left, they've been playing just out of control.
That's a good question. I think defensively, Hawaii Pacific has definitely tried to spread it out a little bit more and attack some of the other corners that they weren't necessarily getting to before the injury. But this is a team that has been playing very well all night tonight. A foul called as we speak against Alvin Stevenson that will send for 24 Mike Smith to the free throw line for South Dakota State. But HPU, that zone defense, they always try to extend it. They always try to attack as much out of their defense as possible. But that time Stevenson caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Oh, man. I'll tell you one thing for sure. You got to know Kavika Smith, what a great kid he is and a competitor. When he's hearing the cheers in the arena from the locker room, and he knows good things are happening for HPU, it's got to make him feel good.
Michael Paul comes in replacing Alvin Stevenson. Stevenson leaves after picking up his 4th personal foul with 13 minutes, 20 seconds left. That cannot sit well with head coach Tony Solito. Second shot by Smith is good, 68-51, HPU by 17. 13-15 left to play. Paul will walk it across the timeline. HPU going right to left here in the second half. Ball looking into the post, nothing doing it. Top to higher, off the combo, back to higher, pulls up for 3, it's in the air, good!
And Gary Hire, he's pumping his fist like Sea Warriors of yesteryear. He's done that before, folks. You got a feeling he knows where it is, and he's going to do it again.
And the lead is 20. What a homecoming for HPU. Do they like playing in this building or what? Here's Smith on the right wing. South Dakota State looking into the post. Gets it down to Cone. Guarded by Hire. Up top, Fisher at the elbow. Pump fakes. Adel does not fall for it. Now the relocation up top to Hansen. His shot is blocked by Paul. Picked up by Hire. Here come the Sea Warriors. Paul looking to push. Now slow it down. Gets it to Hire. He won't slow it down. He'll take the shot. Leaves it well short, an air ball. South Dakota State coming the other way. Hansen surveying the floor. Spins, whirls, shoots, and he is fouled. Hansen will shoot free throws. A foul called against Michael Paul, his second. That is the 6th HPU team foul in this half. One more, and that puts the Jackrabbits into the bonus. 20-point lead for HPU.
Yeah, Tony Solito back to the bench is when big man coach Tony Smalley came out and told him the condition of Kavika Smith. Tony Solito realized that the most important thing in this arena was his student athlete Kavika Smith and not the game. He went back to check on Kavika.
First free throw goes for Hansen. Hansen courageous, to say the least, on that drive to the basket. Now a substitution for HPU. Dean Pennybacker comes in for the first time tonight. 6'6" sophomore forward from Kailua, Hawaii, University High School. He has collected 3 minutes so far this season, so he's getting some quality playing time here with the team up 20. Hansen misses the second free throw try. HPU has it. Michael Paul, West Harlem Globetrotter impression between the legs as he walks up the floor, gets it to Kato, drives, relocates it out to Paul. Long three-pointer straight away, gets the bounce. What a soft shot by Paul.
And Michael Paul just gives you that feeling like he can win a game at the buzzer, and I'm sure he will this year.
Hansen looked like he dribbled it off of his foot into the backcourt, retrieved it, no signal by the official on the spot, Pantanebe. South Dakota State still handling it. HPU with the harassing defense. And Cone trying to drive baseline, called for step. Scott Cato came out to approach him defensively, and Cone stutter-stepped a little bit, perhaps out of hesitancy. And it belongs to HPU. 11:48 left to play in this second half. And it looks as though HPU tonight to Hawaii Pacific University. And Michael Paul's three-pointer from way outside straight away really epitomized that thought as it got the friendly bounce on the iron and went through. The Sea Warriors lead by 22, 74 to 52.
Yeah, offensively, the Sea Warriors in great shape. They have out-rebounded the Jackrabbits by 15 rebounds in the second half, taking over the boards.
HPU 11 for 18 from downtown. The other side, South Dakota State 1 for 6. Here's Lamar Miller drives the baseline for HPU, trying to hook the pass to Addo. On that bounce, last touch by South Dakota State. So the Sea Warriors will inbound from the baseline. 75-52 HPU, 74-52 with 11:30 left to play in the game. Michael Paul will inbound from the baseline for the Sea Warriors. Up top it goes to Kato. Back over to Miller on the left wing. Miller finds Paul, 15 on the shot clock. Miller will rotate it over to Kato now on the right wing, even with the free throw line down low to Addo. Back to the basket. Turnaround shot. He is fouled, and he will shoot two.
Well, you got to love Ryan Adel, 6'10", 240. Big guy. He can really do well with his back against the rack. And
we'd like to remind you, starting this Friday, it's the HPU annual Thanksgiving Classic. And a good field of teams: Louisiana State, Oakland, Toledo, Southwest Missouri State, Fresno State, Florida International, and the game that will be broadcast Friday night at 6:30, Hawaii Pacific and Wyoming.
From the Jackrabbits to the Cowboys, keeping that Western theme going Friday night at the Neil Blaisdell Center, Wyoming, and HPU. Oh, it's going to be a big one.
Battle 2 for 3 from the line tonight. Make that 3 for 4 with that shot, 75-52. Jackrabbits will bring it into the forecourt via Essling. Essling checked by Michael Paul, and away from the ball, a foul signaled against Scott Kato. I think the two number 34s are going at it. Kato was in a shoving match with Derek Shantz, but as I say that, they signal the foul against Dean Pennybacker. Kato and Shantz definitely were twined up like a pretzel.
Yeah, I think some personal fouls on Dean Pennybacker is a good thing. Get him in there, bust it up a little bit, find out what it's like banging low.
Fisher's free throw no good out of the bonus. Rebound Adel. Here comes HPU. Paul, as he crosses the timeline, decides to stutter step a little bit and pull it up, let the offensive scheme set itself up. Here's Paul. Switched up to guard his shot. Paul trying to drive by him. Fouled on the baseline. He was pulling up for the jumper, so he will shoot free throws. For Shantz, that is his first personal foul. 6th team foul for South Dakota State. One more in HPU also will join the Jackrabbits in the bonus situation. Michael Paul free throw, no good.
Michael Paul going baseline, stops against the big guys, throws it up. Off the rack, but he will go to the line, you know.
Paul, second free throw off the heel, too strong. HPU still leads 75-52, 10:50 left to play in the game. Franklin being guarded by Paul. Left-handed dribble up top. Another whistle away from the ball. It will be called against Dean Pennybacker again. So while Scott Kato and Derek Shantz get into a shoving match just a few moments ago, even though no foul was called against either of them, Dean Pennybacker now starting to do the same with Bryce Bauer. And he is tagged with 2 personal fouls. He will be taken out, replaced by Gary Heyer. Pennybacker makes his way back to the bench to receive some words of wisdom from Tony Smith. Free throw attempt by Bauer is good. Cuts the lead to 22, 75-53 with 10:46 left to play in the game.
Actually, Tony Smalley, the new big man's coach, replacing Francis Fletcher on the active coaching roster with some words of wisdom for Dean Pennybacker.
Second free throw is good. The lead is 21 for HPU. Michael Paul controls at the point guard position for HPU. Waiting a few moments, now drives right of the lane. Dishes to Kato. 16-foot shot from the right wing is no good. Knocked out of bounds on the rebound. That's touched by HPU and will belong to the Jackrabbits. Jackrabbits started their season against St. Mary's on the 19th. That was Friday night. They were able to win 71-64 in the game that, according to Scott Nagy, they did not look too good at. But the next night against Minot State, they won 114-82. And head coach Nagy said the team looked very sharp, so he is still unsure as to which team will come out night in and night out. And foul called against 24, Mike Smith. So an offensive foul, and it will go in the direction of HPU. Another substitution for Tony Solito. Jamal Maiden comes in, 6'5" freshman from Washington, D.C. And that is the 7th team foul for South Dakota State. Second personal for Smith. That means that HPU will be shooting free throws. Reaping the benefits will be Scott Cato. Cato, a 60% free throw shooter. Majoring in justice administration, wants to one day become a police officer. Misses that one-on-one attempt. South Dakota State now has it. 75-54 HPU. Down low, Fisher back to the basket, backing in Cato. Spin, the shot blocked by Cato. Maiden picks up the loose ball. Ahead it goes to Paul. It's a foot race with Hansen. Hansen comes in to strip it away, but he gets a piece of the wrist as well. And Paul will shoot free throws.
And Michael Paul out on the wing in transition. Had no idea of giving the ball up. He wanted to get straight to the rack and create. He had a chance now to have a chance at the line to knock down two.
Great outlet pass that time by Jamal Maiden, the 6'5" freshman forward. He is a lefty, and he really whipped it out to the streaking Michael Paul. First free throw for Paul is good.
Michael Paul coming right into your living room, your TV viewers, and the defender coming in to swipe it away.
Hansen now with 4 personal fouls. He remains in the game. Brings it across the timeline, going left to right here for South Dakota State. They get it to Smith, left, right, no fakes. Tire flies by on Springs, misses the pull-up jumper. And a foul called on the rebound against South Dakota State. And it will go against Bill Fisher. That is his 4th.
Yeah, Bill Fisher pushing off for position. Sea Warriors, I'll tell you, it's great position on both sides. Out rebounding the Jackrabbits in double digits.
Fisher replaced by Vollmer, who also has 4 personal fouls. So now South Dakota State really getting into some trouble in the foul department. Scott Cato shooting the free throw. It's good. Cato has 10 tonight. He is now 1 for 2 from the free throw line. When you look down the foul statistics for South Dakota State, 1, 2, 3, 4 players all playing with 4 personal fouls. And then they have a couple of players playing with 3. Mike Smith off of the Scott Cato miss in the front court for South Dakota State. Gets to Essling. Shot off the glass. Too strong. Rebound Scott Cato. Outlet pass goes to Michael Paul. Looking to force the issue. Gets it to higher. Right corner. Puts up the 3. That one's no good. Long rebound. Pulled down by Essling. Now the numbers game. South Dakota State with the advantage. Good shovel pass given to Vollmer, and he is fouled by Cato on the way to the hoop.
Scott Cato coming a little bit slow from behind with the foul. Scott with 10 points right now. That's his season average. And with 9:24 to go, you know he's going to break that.
Cato now with 3 personal fouls. Shot by Vollmer. There's another lefty. That one's no good. Higher trying the 3-point shot at the other end just moments ago. And South Dakota State off to the races. We're on the simulcast, Kumu AM 1500 radio and Oceana Cable Channel 16. Vollmer's second attempt. It's up and it's good. 78-55 the score with 9:24 left to play in this game. Glad you could join us wherever you may be on our inaugural broadcast on Oceana Cable Channel 16. First actual regular season home game for HPU. Higher trying a healthy 3 from straight away. That one's no good. Hansen coming the other way now for the Jackrabbits. Gets it poked away from behind by Alvin Stevenson. And it will stay with South Dakota State as it goes out of bounds beyond the end line.
You know, when I saw Michael Paul in the preseason game, I had a feeling he would be in the game a lot, and he is.
Essling down low. In traffic, decides to dribble out of there. That was a little too messy down there for his personal taste. Then a turnover by Mike Smith, but it's taken back by Essling. Pull-up shot from 8. That's no good. Offensive rebound. Bauer, and he is fouled from behind. So now the game's starting to get a little sloppy.
Looked like Jamal Maiden coming over the back with a lot of exuberance.
Maiden trying to get into the stat book. He has a personal foul to his name.
Well, actually, I think that's a pretty good foul by Jamal Maiden, the freshman, 6'5", 200-pounder from D.C., make him earn it from the strike.
That will send Bryce Bauer to the free throw line. We're coming into this game. He was shooting just about 50%. He is listed at 219, but according to head coach Scott Nagy, he is well over 230 now. A good job by the freshman Bauer on the offensive boards. Fouled from behind by Maiden. Free throw is good on the second attempt for Bauer, so he goes 2 for 2, 78-57, 21-point lead for HPU. Now they can just kind of work the clock here. Michael Paul at the top of the circle for the Seawolves. To the right, hands it off to Stevenson. Surveying the floor, crossover dribble against Hansen. Pull-up shot running the lane. That went an off-balance, out-of-control shot. And an offensive rebound by Kato. Great effort. Like Dennis Rodman just poking it to himself. Here's higher, left corner. Pump fake, gets the defender on screen. Straight-point shot, no good. Another offensive rebound, Kato. And he resets it to Paul. Good effort by the senior, one of the leaders on this team. 6'7" forward, Scott Kato. Paul has it at the top for HPU. Dribbling between the legs a couple of times. Now gets it into the hands of Higher. 18 seconds and counting on the shot clock. Paul looking to drive left. Stalls, gets it over to Higher. Pump fakes again, gets the defender to jump up. But he is blocked on the way up, or at least stripped down low enough to where he missed the shot. Now Dakota State the other way, and Essling is blocked, but fouled by Maiden.
You know, on the other end, Gary Hire has shown that he's not shy to take that shot, but he thought he was fouled, caught some wrist, maybe just the ball, but he definitely thought he was fouled on that sequence.
So Essling will take